Hey everyone, thank you once again for joining me on this group SRT clearing. So this is a very brief SRT clearing for whoever's watching this for a group, and should last about 15 minutes or so. So just set your intention to receive. You don't need to understand everything that comes up. Just set your intention to receive for your highest good, to receive the healing, the clearing for your highest good. Hopefully you can see all right. Let's just get that centered. Okay. So we're going to work on blocks to self-worth, self-esteem, self-value, blocks to self-worth, blocks to self-esteem, blocks to self-value. Not that any of them particularly mean anything, they're kind of labels, but the programs that make us think that way, we're going to be working on those. So just get yourself in a comfortable position to watch, or just have it playing in the background. That's absolutely fine. Just set your intention to receive. That's the main thing. Okay, so let's get going. So I know that I'm working with the God team, and we're working on blocks of self-worth, self-esteem, self-value. I've already prepped myself to work. So what's it running at? Blocks to self-esteem, self-value, self-worth. It's running at 0% positive, 100% negative. Of course, because it's a group clearing right now, and we don't know how many people are eventually going to watch this. We seem to be at Christ consciousness, as with most of the clearings. So we're just going to ask the God team that I'm working with. Normally it's the high self team, but I'm working with the God team at the moment, and we're going to clear all blocks, all programs that are contributing to low self-worth, low self-esteem, low self-value, up to 100% positive and down to 0% negative, which is where we want every single thing, and all the way up from Christ consciousness, where it's sitting at the moment, to radiant love, new paradigm level of consciousness as a minimum. So here is the incarnational level right down here on this chart, and these are all the different levels of consciousness, and Christ consciousness is where it is, this issue is sitting at the moment. And we go up here, and this is the first expression of the soul up here. This is the Godhead, the grand eye whole up here, and then we go beyond that chart, the grand eye whole, all the way up through these different layers of Eden, new Lemuria, be, live, life, and then up to radiant love, new paradigm level, and then there's something like 120 odd feet off the page, maybe more by now, way off the page. So in the last 10 years or so, Spirit's been learning so much from the expansion of consciousness that we're just expanding the energy constantly with new layers, new learnings all the time. Huge growth. So we're just clearing, still doing that initial clearing. So clearing low self-worth, low self-esteem, low self-value, and blocks, any blocks that are there contributing to those. So this system was set up by Robert E. Detzler, and he has 3 books. He's deceased now, but left an incredible legacy. I think it's just 3 books that he had: Soul Recreation, The Freedom Path, and Spiritual Healing Book. I'm not sure if that's the title or not, Spiritual Healing Book, but it's I haven't got that in front of me, so I can't be certain, but it's a very, very interesting book. They're all very interesting book, packed full of information. The system is actually based on the Bible, the true spiritual terms of the Bible. So a lot of Old Testament language and New Testament language in here, and the disciples as the archetypes, that kind of thing. So there we go, we're slowing down now. Okay, so where are we going first for this one? We want to go to, looks like chart 6A, which is Master Programs, Discordant Energy. Inside right, failure coming up. So that seems to be a big cause there. Does that have a past life root? Yeah. We're just going to ask the teams to clear any failure that we can clear from anybody that's watching this. Now, normally, you see, if I'm doing an individual clearing, we'll ask a few more questions about that failure. We're clearing any master programs and discordant energy connected to failure. We'd want to know a bit more whether we'd need to research that past life. Was it also ancestral? How many levels of consciousness was that running at? And sometimes when we research, we can come up with all sorts of information from past lives as well. It doesn't always happen, only if it's necessary to research it. So the teams right now are clearing failure as a master program and discordant energy from anyone that's watching this. It's not a one session fix all, and this is just a brief clearing, a brief group clearing anyway. So it's a very, very light overview clearing, but I've had quite a few messages now from people who have had little breakthroughs from this. So this is fantastic news. I'm absolutely thrilled at that. That's what it's all about. It's here to serve you. So it's here to help you and serve you. And the more people that you can share this with, the more benefit it is for everybody. Not everyone will believe in it, and they don't have to receive the benefits of it. It's fine that if people don't believe that this is clearing, but I know from personal experience and from client experience that it's an incredibly powerful system, and especially long term, you really see the shifts long term in this. Right, okay, so that was quite a big clearing of failure. And we've got another one coming up actually on there. Okay, let's have a look and see what this next one is that's coming up. Powerlessness, unworthiness. Anything else? Do they have past life roots again? Yes, they do. And can we just get them cleared? Yeah, let's just clear all master programs and discordant energy for the group on powerlessness and unworthiness. So powerlessness isn't added to the original charts. It's just something I've added on as an extra because it comes up all the time. So it's always useful to see. So this system was set up originally in the 80s, late 80s, and then developed more within the 90s, more charts added. And it's an incredibly powerful system, very complex because it deals with lots and lots of different levels of consciousness. So it's not so much working like the emotion and the body code on the physical and the emotions, but it's working even at sort of much higher levels of consciousness, spirit level as well. That's why it's incredibly powerful, incredibly powerful. I mean, the emotion and body code is fantastic as well, so I'm not knocking that in any way. It's just, I think this one works at in different levels. They work in slightly different ways, similar but slightly different. I was very drawn to this one. I think I trained in this one back in 2012, 2013, something like that. 2013, I think. But I had a few SRT clearings myself from people, so that's great. Okay, where are we going next then? 8A, we're going to inner archetypes. Let's see what's being blocked. The adult archetype is being blocked. Group instinct, which can be the collective consciousness. The perfectionist is being blocked. Anything else? No? Can we just clear these blocks? Yeah, so let's clear all those blocks to the adult archetype, the group instinct, especially if it's the collective consciousness, and the perfectionist archetype. And let's just rebalance those for anybody that's watching this. So some of you may feel the sensations and some may not feel anything at all. Just depends on the individual experience. Some clearings I do on myself, I don't feel anything. And other clearings, I can feel everything. So I've had tears spontaneously coming up and clearing out of nowhere before, totally unexpectedly. So, and I've noticed great shifts. And I noticed the more you clear, it's a bit like a busy motorway or a highway in your mind. It starts to get quieter and turns into like a country road. So it's like clearing away all the rubbish is what it feels like from the mind. So there's a bit more on the inner archetypes there. Let's have a look. Inside, still more on the adult archetype. The producer archetype, anything more? No, let's just clear those, please. Clear any blocks away from the producer and the adult archetype and bring them into perfect health, harmony and balance. For anybody that's watching this, please. For everybody's highest good at all times. . Yeah, I suppose that's the one of the biggest things I learnt from doing lots of clearings with the SRT, especially for myself, was how much quieter my mind got. It didn't have all the noise that it used to have, all the rubbish. Everything just got smoother and calmer in the mind, and it makes such a difference, such a difference. It's just amazing to watch how things change as well. It's also good for clearing relationships. I found it's very good for relationship clearing, and just, yeah, some people just get very, very powerful shifts from it straight away. So, some are powerful immediately, some are subtle. It does vary. It doesn't mean to say it doesn't work because you don't feel much. The first 2 I had done, I didn't feel anything, but then things just started changing my life. So, right, where are we going now? 10B. 10B is programs created by spirit. This is the first line of programming. Self-punishment is running. A spiritual virus is running. That's interesting. Something under miscellaneous there. Do we need to investigate any of that? No. Can we just get those cleared? Let's just clear those then at a group level. Let's clear all debts, steps, levels, ranges, limitations, everything everywhere connected to self-punishment, embryo, and spiritual virus. Can we ask that all souls that serve everybody in this group are also cleared of the spiritual virus? Just clear, please. Clear, clear, clear. Clearing all body progress and body memories in connection with those as well. Interesting how self-punishment is connected to low self-worth, low self-esteem, and low self-value. And the spiritual virus, I didn't expect that to come up. So that's always interesting. I'm always learning from the system. It's always something to learn from the system. That's what's so amazing about it. Right, okay. Is that done? Yep, seems to be. Okay, where are we going next? Chart 12, which is spirit energy programming. And this is at the Queen of Life, this level. So we've got 12 aspects of spirit's genetic coding. Dysfunction of spirit by error consciousness. Miasma of spirit is like a fault in the programming. Anything else? Let's just clear all miasms of spirit, clearing back to at least 8 generations. Clearing all dysfunction of spirit by error consciousness. And 12 aspects of spirit's genetic coding. This is all Queen of Life level. Queen of Life level of consciousness is just before the first expression of the soul, which is Lord of Lords level. Queen of Life is like soul being in the womb. And then Lord of Lords, it's like, there it is, it's the living soul. It's born. So this is sort of at the creation of the soul level, really. And we have programming then. We have levels of consciousness and subconscious potential all the way up. Levels of consciousness. It's not just at earthly level. So spirit has a consciousness, obviously. But then we have Queen of Life, for instance, has a subconscious. Their living soul, a consciousness. Ultimate consciousness levels, the Christ body has subconscious. So when we have that subconscious, we have the potential for ego. So it's quite... but what is ego? That's for another discussion. But certainly what we have is programming. So the programs don't just exist just because we're at incarnational level existing. So it's still clearing away, Queen of Life level. It's obviously quite a lot there. This is why I want to put some supermarket music on. Just allow yourself to receive. Still going. This must be like watching paint dry for people that are watching this. I am sorry, but it's clearing quite a lot at the moment. Still clearing a lot there. There's obviously a lot there. I'm just going to ask the God team to get extra help as appropriate for this group clearing. So obviously something major being cleared here for the people watching this at this level, because it's still spinning away. Now it's starting to slow down. Okay, done. Good, 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 good. Right, where are we going next? Let's have a look. 14, pre-fall of consciousness, creating the illusion. We need to clear misuse of energy in creating. Conscious mind programs type 1. So let's just get those cleared for everybody watching this. I love this chart. Okay, that's cleared pretty quickly there. That's good. And the next one, again, you don't have to understand everything to get the healing. 27, learning is fun. These are learning blocks at spirit level. There, so let's have a look. What have we got running? Blocks to experience is the process. Oneness with God, spirit is the goal. So let's clear all of those learning blocks at spirit level. Again, I'm not going into too much detail with those. I'm just asking for an overall clearing for the group for the purpose of this video. And that's cleared pretty quickly. Okay, is that done effectively? Yes, it is. Right, let's have a look. Anything else? We're nearly done on this one. Chart 32, the checklist, which is interesting. We haven't been to the checklist on my group clearings so far. So anything on the inside? Psychic wounds. Okay, do we need to know any more information? Okay, well, let's just clear all psychic wounds that are coming up in connection with low self-worth, low self-esteem, low self-value, blocks to those. Clearing all psychic wounds for anybody that's watching. Always good to get rid of those. Quite fascinating, actually. So here's what it says about psychic wounds. If somebody's cleared and they are still having difficulty with pain in a particular area, ask if it is a psychic wound. Psychic wounds are always caused by someone you know and trust in a past life. Sometimes it is accidental and sometimes on purpose. Even a cesarean birth, especially if not needed, can create a psychic wound. That's interesting. You can ask spirit to heal psychic wounds. Until the wound is healed, there can be pain in that area. Psychic wounds seldom are a result of war unless someone betrays you and you are then harmed by the enemy. That was interesting. So spirit clearing psychic wounds for everybody watching this video. Just reading in my book whilst this is clearing, just reading in my book, the Gettr, that's P''T''A''H. This is a group of beings at the Godhead level. They call themselves the voice of the Godhead, or the Pleiadians, as we tend to know them by. So a lady called Jani King of New Zealand channeled the material called the Gettr tapes, some of you may have heard of. They say things like, whatever anybody else says about you is none of your business because you are the only one who creates your reality. And take your head off and tuck it under your arm so your conscious mind does not get in the way of your communication with spirit. Get neutral, get yourself out of the way. When asked, how does one find what their purpose is that can benefit humanity? They respond, indeed, dear one, first we would say the purpose you are all here for is to know that you are God. It is your responsibility then to know who you are, and when you know who you are, you become a beacon to the whole world, and you do not have to teach, you only need be. That is all. Wonderful words of wisdom. That just stuck out there in my book. I just thought I'd share that. So, are we done? We are. Is there anything else to clear on this for the group? No? Can we go to mop up? Yep, so we're going to mop up now. Mop up is where the bulk of the clearing takes place, normally in an individual clearing, which you can purchase my SRT package on my website, www.carolinecousins.com. We go through a whole list of instructions and affirmations and all sorts of things at a personal clearing. And personal clearings they take longer and more in-depth, more personal to you as well. But we basically work with the teams. They have 200 plus charts on their side of life. And this is where the bulk of the clearing takes place. So we prep to work to start with, clearing a lot of stuff. And then we do the whole research, which I actually do share with my clients. Many don't, but I do. And then we do a mop up, which is really where the bulk of the clearing is done on the other side. And that's what they're doing right now, which is why it's spinning furiously right now. And normally I'd read a long list of instructions, but for the sake of this video and to keep it as short as possible, because we've already gone on a bit longer, it's doing a quick mop up. Well, it feels quite a detailed mop up, bearing in mind how long it's taking. And then hopefully we'll be at 100 positive down to 0 negative when we look at the percentages. And we're starting to slow down, I can feel it. Okay, are we done? Yeah, everybody happy with that? High self-team. Is the soul free? Yeah. Will a positive difference be noticed by at least some of the people in here? Yeah. Okay. Where are we running now? 100 positive, 0 negative. Okay. And where are we on here? Yeah, we're at least at Radiant Love New Paradigm level. Wonderful. So let's just put that one to bed. If you have any questions, all the details, all my contact details are down below, and hope you enjoyed that and it helps you. Bye.